وحده والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أما بعد، الأصل السادس من فقه الفتن لزوم الكبار والحذر مما ينفرد به الصغار. إذا وقع الاختلاف ولا سيما فيما يتعلق بالفتن فالزم ركاب الأكابر في العلم والسن، واحذر ما ينفرد به الصغار، فإن في الشباب حدة تعجل بصاحبها إلى الفتنة. أما العلماء الكبار فهم كبار في علمهم وكبار في سنهم، ومع علمهم قد جربوا الحياة وانكسرت فيهم شدة الشباب وغلبت عليهم الهناء، فلا يصدرون إلا عن العلم علموه ورأي أحكموه، فهم عن العلم يصدرون وبالحكمة للواقع يفهمون والبركة معهم. يقول ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: البركة مع أكابرهم، البركة مع أكابركم، رواه ابن حبان والحاكم. وسئل عبد الله بن مبارك وهو من هو بحضرة سفيان بن عيينة فقال: نهينا أن نتكلم عند أكابرنا. ذكره الذهبي في السير. وانظر وفقك الله ما حصل من الصحابة عند اضطراب نفوسهم عندما بلغهم خبر وفاة النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. فعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أن أبا بكر رضي الله عنه خرج وعمر رضي الله عنه يكلم الناس فقال: اجلس، فهبى، فقال: اجلس، فهبى، فتشهد أبو بكر رضي الله عنه فمال إليه الناس وتركوا عمر، فقال: أما بعد، فمن كان منكم يعبد محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم فإن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قد مات، ومن كان يعبد الله فإن الله حي لا يموت. قال الله تعالى: وما محمد إلا رسول إلى الشاكرين. والله لكأن الناس لم يكونوا يعلمون أن الله أنزلها حتى تلاها أبو بكر رضي الله عنه فتلقاها منه الناس، فما يسمع بشر إلا يتلوها. رواه البخاري. فعندما تكلم أبو بكر رضي الله عنه وهو الأكبر مالوا إليه مع ميل عواطفهم لما يقوله عمر رضي الله عنه.
قراءتك اليوم لذيذة كأنك تقول شعرا. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. In continuation with our book Fiqh Al-Fitan, Shaykh Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli, Hafizahullah, he's still alive. Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli is still alive. He teaches in the Prophet's Masjid in Madīnah. He was a teacher in Usul al-Fiqh in Jamia Islamiyah. He's an associate professor now. Hafizahullah, Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli, well respected. One of the scholars said that he talks like Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen. And sincerely, if you listen to Shaykh Sulayman, that's how it is. Just as if you are listening to Shaykh Uthaymeen, rahimahullah. The Shaykh Sulayman, in these usul that he gave, basic rules, basic guidelines about how to conduct ourselves during the time of fitna, during the time of uproar, during the time of confusion. he taught us how to handle ourselves, and he gave us some basic rules. These rules are about 26 or 25, but we are still on point number 6. Although the later points come short, brief. But the first point at the beginning comes deep, lengthy. The point we are on is what he called al-aslu sadis. He says al-aslu sadis min fiqh al-fitan luzumul kibar. From the basic things we need to take on during the times of tribulation is luzumul kibar, sticking to the elders. Stick to the elders during the times of fitna. He explained it, Hafizahullah. He says, وَالْحَذَرُ مِمَّا يَنْفَرِدُ بِهِ السِّجَارِ, and avoiding or staying away, being careful from things that are only known with youth, young people. If you see that something, young people are the ones behind it, don't go near it. Stay where the elders are. So when you hear young people will fight in Nigeria, it means, don't go near them. Avoid those young people. Avoid that affair behind which the people, the organizers, the patronizers, the young people. Avoid it. So he said, min fiqh al-fitan luzum al-kibar wal-hazar mimma yanfaridu bihi as-sigar. From the basic rulings about fitan is to stick to the elders and avoid what the young people alone are known for. Leave young people alone. He said, Hafizahullah, إِذَا وَقَعَ الْإِخْتِلَافِ, when differences and variance become spread amongst the people, وَلَا سِيَّمَا فِيمَا يَتَعَلَّقُ بِالْفِتَنِ, especially when that difference has to do with fitan, tribulation. That difference and variance is widespread. People's lives are taken, properties are destroyed. He says, Hafizahullah, فَالْزَمْ رِكَابَ الْأَكَابِرِ, stick to the footsteps of the elders. Rikab, the footsteps. Essentially, that is where, when you want to climb a horse, where you first of all put your leg. That is what is referred to as what? Rikab. So, falzam rikab al-akabir. Stick to the footsteps of the elders. Fil ilmi wa sin. Elders in terms of knowledge, and elders in terms of age. Àwọn àfà tó ti jẹ́ àgbàlagbà. Elders in terms of knowledge, elders in terms of age. The two of them combined together. Àwọn àgbàlagbà àfà. Those are the ones you see. Àgbàlagbà, age, àfà, knowledge. So these are the people that we should stick to during the times of fitna. He gave us examples. If you go to places like Saudi Arabia, there are a lot of ulama, but they have hay'at kibar ulama, elders amongst the companions there are elders. And that was the hadith he gave us in the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma. Inshallah we are coming back to that. So even between Abu Bakr and Umar, Agbawa or Madewa, between Abu Bakr and Siddiq and who? Umar. Many of us are Magbalagama, even among colleagues, because almost as you end calling the name of Abu Bakr, you quickly call Umar. But both Abu Bakr and Umar are referred to as Umaran. If you say Umaran, what do you refer to amongst Arabs? Abu Bakr and Umar. So, if Abu Bakr was older and more knowledgeable than Umar, why is it that in that naming Umar is mentioned? Ulama mentioned two aspects. Al-Imam Abu Bakr Al-Ambari, rahimahullah, he mentioned two reasons why it is like that. He said the first reason is that Umar ruled longer than Abu Bakr. The second reason, his voice was heard much more than Abu Bakr. It means from the things by which we know elders is that, or else you want to shaking you. It means when you begin to hear the person talking, and they came down loud. So he said, when there is fitna, speak to the elders amongst the scholars. Two things combined, not just because he is elderly. He is elderly and then knowledgeable. What is penny dima? So we must be sure that they are knowledgeable, then they are elders. Not just elders without knowledge. Elders without knowledge, no. These are not the people he's talking about. But who are they talking about? Scholars who are elders. Not just agbalagba. Not because of the age, because the companions used to think that the elders amongst them are the most knowledgeable. And so that's agbalagba. But when he is now knowledgeable, he must study agbalagba. Ọjọ́ orí kejì yẹn wà fún ní khibra, yóò fún ní experience, ìmọ̀ ti sọ di àgbàlagbà. Ọjọ́ orí ó wà fún ní àti nǹkan tí yóò bá ń pè ní òye, à ń bọ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ lónìí inshallah. Torí ọ̀rọ̀ òye ló jẹ́ kó gbogbo tí àìwá. Èèyàn á máa kọ́ òye. But àwa tá ń ké olóyìn àìkọ́ òye mọ́, àkọ́ òye mọ́ kéwú mọ́. Láti náhù wà sọ́rf, a máa ń jọ́ǹpù sí jọ́fù wà tàbí. Inshallah a sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ nípa òye lónìí. Kí ló ń jẹ́ òye? Òye tán bí mọ́yàn àti òye téèyàn kọ́. Èèyàn á máa kọ́ òye. Lẹ́mọ̀ gbọ́ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà mogbé, kí ni túmẹ̀? O ti kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ téèyàn máa ń kọ́ lọ́dọ̀ tí ò bá kọ́ ńkọ́. Tí ó ti hàn. Sẹ́yìn tó gbé ọ̀dọ̀ àgbàlagbà bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà ló dàkẹ́ gbé àbí dàkẹ́ gbé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn àgbàlagbà tó dẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín àti ìṣesí yín jọ ó fi kọ́ òye yẹn. Sọ ẹ̀sìn fi àyè kíkọ́ òye àti ọgbọ́n sílẹ̀. Ó kù káwá kọ́. A máa ń kọ́ ọmọ kéwù ni, but àkọ́ ọmọ ní kò sínú sílábọ̀sì bí kankan. Láti náhù àti sọ́ọ̀fù báyìí. Ó ti di muhadis jọ́kù wọ́tàjì. Kìí ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn ni ìṣáájú ṣe ṣe ni. إذا وقع الاختلاف, when there is difference amongst the people, ولا سيما فيما يتعلق بالفتن, especially if that difference, that tribulation is widespread. فالزم ركاب الأكابر في العلم والسن. Stick to the footsteps of the elders in terms of knowledge and age. واحذر ما ينفرد به الصغار. We had read this part, we are just revising. We should avoid what is only known with young people. Avoid the talks of young people. When you have to say, okay, avoid it. Or a lesson. Or a madi, or a madi. That's what is now common. The unfortunate thing is that in the Nigerian polity now, you see elders saying that our youth are agitating. No. How can you be citing youth as a reason for what you elders will do? Can we be saying our youth want to fight? Are you people reasonable? Are your youth the one controlling you, or they take instructions from you? So don't follow youth. Don't follow it. If you see an affair, who are those behind it? You don't follow it. Don't follow it. So you want to be president. Abdullah Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. Is in Sahih Bukhari. يتعوذ من عمارة التبيان. يتعوذ من إمارة التبيان. أعوذ بالله من عمارة التبيان. Mo wá sọ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run kúrò lọ́dọ̀ èṣù, kúrò níbi ìmọ̀ ìwà lábẹ́ olórí ọmọdé kó jẹ́ pé mo wà lábẹ́ olórí yẹn ọmọdé ni yóò lò ìlòkulò. So if those youths become the president, they will destroy the country more than these people. If at all these people are actually destroying the country. If it is these youths we are saying, one of them said if he becomes a president, he will legalize marijuana. The first thing he will do is legalize it. Did you not read it? In the news. So those are the people who want to become president. The elder brother of one of them said he will dance from somewhere to... because he himself is not far away from youth. Because there is usefulness in terms of knowledge. Who if an elderly person is far away from knowledge, it's like a youth. Àgbàlagbà tó jìnnà sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọmọdé lòun náà. Tí àgbàlagbà bá jìnnà sí ẹ̀kọ́, kí ni òun náà? Is a small boy. If not a small boy, how can you say you will dance from Ede to Kafanchan? Ọmọ kékeré ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọdé. Ṣé ijó náà yàn pé kò wá jó ni? Sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọdé ni. So tí àgbàlagbà bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ó jìnnà sí màá ní. Àbá gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ lẹ́nu jìnnà sí màá. So those we should follow in the times of fitan. Mostly they are al-akabiru fi al-ilmi wa mada wa sin and age. واحذر ما ينفرد به الصغار فإن في الشباب حدة. Avoid what young people are busy with, because في الشباب حدة. Young people have a kind of an energy and push. That energy and push تؤجل بصاحبه إلى الفتنة. That is the energy and the push that will push them into the fitna. It will be pushing the youth. I'm not going to agree. I will show this man now. Oh no. How do you take up wood to fight somebody holding AK-47? Oh Lord. We watch videos during the fitness. Young boys who carry a stick, the soldiers giving stop now. Who are you trying? One of them stoned an army man or soldier or police. We saw the video. He was trying to run away. He didn't turn before he was hit by the bullet. He went down straight. So he had, as a youth, he had one energy pushing him that makes him think that his stone is faster than the bullet. The thinking that makes you think that stone is faster than bullet. Take a thinking to Finani. Oh, for told you, I can take the bullet, Danny. He says, فَإِنَّ فِي الشَّبَابِ حِدَّةً. Young people have one kind of an energy. تُعَجِّلُ بِصَاحِبِهَا إِلَى الْفِتْنَةِ. It hastens that person into fitna, into trouble. May Allah protect all of us. أَمَّا الْعُلَمَاءُ الْكِبَارِ. As for the elderly and the learned ones, فَهُمْ كِبَارٌ فِي عِلْمِهِمْ. They are elders in terms of their knowledge. وَكِبَارٌ فِي سِنِّهِمْ. They are elders in terms of their age. وَمَعَ عِلْمِهِمْ. And in addition to knowledge, جَرَّبُوا الْحَيَاةِ. What you realize? جَرَّبُوا. They have tasted life. They have seen life. Young boys today will be telling elders how to marry. You are so married. If you are not married, if you are not handling your wife well, you. I've heard this before. It was not said to me. So young boys, they are the ones who know how to manage the economy of Nigeria. Go. Somebody who has never who cannot manage his mother's bread store. He wants to manage 250 million people. Fitna. He cannot manage the bread store of his mother. At 30 years, Pasita Kole Mojito. Onyo Mojito Bobo Nigeria. Ammal Kiba Zarrabul Haya. Kiba wa Balaga wa Tiri. They have seen a lot. When and say, let's make it hot, let's pack it. No. Because he has seen what you have not seen. And I keep saying this. My own father was in the forefront of the civil war in Nigeria. So I heard the accounts of civil war directly from him. If you hear civil war accounts, you will never try to say that in civil war in Nigeria. Oh, me forget. I heard and I read. I did not Bush account. Emeka, I heard it. Olusegun's account. Those are two major players. أما العلماء الكبار, as for the elderly learned people, فهم كبار في علمهم وكبار في سنهم. They are elders in terms of their knowledge. وكبار في سنهم. They are elders in terms of their age. ومع علمهم قد جربوا الحياة. And in addition to their knowledge, they have tasted this life. وانكسرت فيهم حدة الشباب. And that pushy energy that pushes the young people in Kasarati, it is broken in them. They don't have it. Their age and experience has broken it down with knowledge that they have. So they don't have the hidda of Shabbat, the energy that pushes the Shabbat. Let's scatter it. They don't have it. They don't have it. They have grown beyond that. وَغَلَبَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَنَاءِ. Galabat alayhim. It has overrun their own minds. Al-ana, thinking twice about something. What I want to do now, what will come out of it, what I want to say now, what will this result to? If a man is not disturbed by hiddat shabab, if your DPO writes you a letter to come and you don't go, what does it mean? DPO in your area, write you letter, come, I want to see you, and you refuse to go. You know they can leave you, but have they left you? Young boy will think that they have left me. I did not go, but if that happens with DPO, how about Inspector General of Police? Inspector General send you letter, DHL, come. See, I no go come. He send police people to you, come. Go and tell him to come. You see, I no go come. They just went away. You think it is over? Young boys will think that it is over. May Allah protect all of us. So I'm just giving us example of Hiddatu Shabab, the energy of Omakeke. There are big men in this country. Should I tell us one? Mashudu Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. Was he a big man or not? Ijoba Muwale. Ijoba Jako succeed. Shuma Allazina qad jarrabu al-hayat hum allazina ya'rifuna hadhihi al-haqa'iq. Àwọn tó ti dá ayé wò ló mọ̀ òdodo yìí. Àkìdájọba ajá àjẹrí gbogbo owó tó léwu lórí kíjọba yẹn gọ̀tù ìjọba nínú èdè Yorùbá kílẹ̀ máa ń sọ amúnimú kíni ṣoṣo bá lé olóògùn oògùn rẹ̀ ò lè mú oògùn rẹ̀ mú ìjọba. Ìwọ tó jẹ́ pé lédè yín ẹ̀ sọ pé amúnimú oògùn ẹ̀yin lẹ sọ pé ẹ mú ìjọba ara yín lẹ mú o ẹ mọ gbẹ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ ńgbà tó bá yá. May Allah protect all of us. Fitna oda, that's on me. Fitna oda. Àwọn Lárúbáwá máa ń sọ pé al-fitna tutana. Fitna máa sùn jẹ́jọ́ sí ẹ̀mí o. Wailun liman ayqadhaha. Ègbé kó máa bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jí lẹ̀. Torí olú kọ̀ọ̀kan mú. May Allah protect all of us. So the elders, Ghalabat alayhimul ana, thinking twice and deeply about something has overpowered their own thinking. Elders, once you say let's do it, you say let's think well, let's look well, let's observe, Let's find out first. غلبت عليهم الأناة فلا يصدرون إلا عن علم علموه. So they will not stand up to do something except they have a knowledge about what they want to do. وَرَأْيٍ أَحْكَمُوهُ, or a kind of thinking they already perfect. But young people jump to things without having knowledge about it. Young people. فَهُمْ عَنِ الْعِلْمِ يَصْدُرُونَ. So knowledge is the basis that pushes elders. Knowledge, age. Okay, we can do this now. It says, وَبِالْحِكْمَةِ لِلْوَاقِعِ يَفْهَمُونَ. And with great, deep wisdom regarding the affairs that is going on, they understand what goes on. Employing deep wisdom. They employ wisdom to understand what is going on. So they know what is going on. When you say, they know. Say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Go like this. Wallahi. May Allah preserve our elders. He now ended it and said, وَالْبَرَكَةُ فِيهِمْ. Ọ̀dọ̀ àgbàlagbà onímọ̀ lọ́lọ́run tún wá fà àlùbáríkà. Wal-baraka. Nígbà tá a rò lọ, when you think of it forth and backwards. Al-baraka, al-barakat, goodness and blessings is still with even the elders. So why will you leave the elders? Start running after young people. Youth. It's time of the youth. Do youth have a time? Youth. So any time can. Who gave them that calendar? Who drew a calendar for youth? يقول ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم البركة مع أكابركم. Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the blessings are with your elders. Elders in knowledge and what? Age. Yeah, the barakat will start from them. The blessings will start from them. They will tell you things by which you will avoid evil. They will tell you things by which, when you do them, you will fall into goodness. Is that not barakat? What is the root of the barakah? Following the advices of the elders in terms of knowledge and age, experience. Yoruba people, what do you say? Agbakiwa ile kiki ni esele. Kori ọmọ. Ẹ wá sọ pé orí ọmọ tuntun kó máa wọ́ báyìí ní ká gbọ́ ògbẹ́ni dákẹ́. La. We can't walk with our heads. It is kuffar who will walk with their heads inside Jahannam. Yes. Ori won fi fa won wona. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if a person is saying youth, he's telling us walk with your head on the ground. So when you are president, what will your father be? When a youth is the president, how will his father greet him? Baba rẹ̀ ò dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún ọkọ. Daddy, stand up. Your daddy will feel form at the gate before he enters Aso Rock. So, it's not the place for the young people. Ayabani. Think of it from any angle. Leave the elders to their places. So the messenger said, alayhi salatu wasalam, al-barakatu ma'a akabirikum. And if you will treat your father, if you are a president at 40, you want to treat your father in the way that you should treat him, you will break presidential protocol. Or will you not break protocol? You break security protocol. You can lose your life for it. So it's not a place for young people. It is for elders. Die again, no be small boy. If it is America you like, you want to follow. They did not choose young boy to be president. Shebi, the husband of King Kardashian, contested. Why didn't they vote for him? Because they want youth. So you don't be deceived that America also wants youth to rule Nigeria. Don't let anybody deceive you on that. If America wants youth to rule Nigeria, have they made youth their own president? Biden is not a small boy, he's a grandfather. And he has seen life. Go and read his life. What he has suffered in his life. He had cancer, he had so many things in life. There's nowhere in the world where they make a child their leader except that the people are brought into fitna. Because young boys are like women. Young boys are like women. What do women want? Women just want to eat and drink and sleep. That's all. Basically, this is a woman. That's why you see those Yahoo boys. When they do the Yahoo, what do they do with it? Huh? What do they do? Buy phone, buy car, and then chop Chicken Republic and Mr. Big. Shawarma. What else? Because ní ọjọ́ orí tí owó yẹn ń di ọwọ́ yẹn kí ìgbọ́n débi bẹ́yẹn tí máa ń náwó ẹ̀. Yóò wá hàn ọlọ́pọ̀lọ́ tí wọ́n fi ò tí ìgbọ́n dé. That's how I recognize them when I see them. Nítòsí lọ́jọ́ orí rẹ̀ yìí ò tí tó ṣe. If you wear a wristwatch of 30 million, when you become 60 years old at age 30, you are wearing watch of 60 million. When you become age 60, 65, watch of how much will you wear? You see now? And at age 55, you will not be able to work as hard. Let's say they work very hard. It's not Yahoo. Oh, she said, Daniel, it's a say at age 30 that makes you wear this watch of 30 million. You can't do that work at age 65. So how are you preparing for that time? How are you preparing for that? So even the childishness will be so clear to my dear but because she said, era about 30 million lower than Dangote. I go Dangote or I go 30 million. He's going to have one of the biggest refineries in Africa, if not the biggest. Area I go 30 million lower. Dangote. Kilo Korea Koko. Lamiko. Aliko. May Allah protect all of us. Al-barakatu ma'a akabir. Ọ̀dọ̀ àgbàlagbà àwọn àgbàlagbà wa láti máa rí àlùbáríkà. So we have to be president. Kì í ṣe ẹrù ọmọdé o. One of the youngest people to have ruled Nigeria was Goodluck Jonathan. He became old immediately, less than 6 months. Ewu ti wù lórí ẹ̀. اقتربت الساعة اقتربت الناس حسابهم اقترب الناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. So you see young people growing gray hair. It's fitna. May Allah protect all of us. Young people cool down. The age of youngness. Èyàn ti máa ń tẹ̀lé àgbàlagbà ni. At the age of youngness, you'll be following elders to learn how to be an elder. If you don't follow elders at the age when you are a youth, how will you know how to be an elder? It's a problem we may be having in the near future. We will be having àwọn àgbàlagbà tí ó mọ̀ ṣe bí ọmọdé torí wípé wọn ò kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ téèyàn fi máa ń lo àgbàlagbà. Ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn nígbà tí yẹn wà lọ́dọ̀ ni yẹn máa ń kọ́. Sọ̀tọ́ bá wá dàgbà nísìn àgbàlagbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe bí ọmọdé ìgbà àwọn àgbàlagbà. I hope that we understand what I'm saying. وسئل عبد الله بن المبارك. Abdullah ibn Mubarak al-Hanbali, one of the biggest scholars in Islam, rahimahullah, Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli said, وَهُوَ مَنْ هُوَ, and he is who he is in knowledge and age. He was asked a question, بِحَضَرَةِ سُفْيَانَ ibn Uyayna, in the presence of Al-Imam Sufyan ibn Uyayna. Sufyan ibn Uyayna is in the tabaq of Al-Imam Malik. Sufyan ibn Uyayna. And Imam Malik. So one of his students was who? Abdullah ibn Mubarak. People are now asking Ibn Mubarak questions when Ibn Uyayna was around. Rahimahumullah. فَقَالَ نُهِينَا أَن نَتَكَلَّمَ عِنْدَ أَكَابِرِنَا. wọ́n ti kọ̀ fún wa ká má máa sọ̀rọ̀ níbi táwọn àgbàlagbà wa bá wà. Ibn Mubarak say, I can't talk here. If you are in the way, I can't talk. May Allah protect all of us. ذكره الذهبي السير. الإمام الذهبي mentioned this narration in سير أعلام النبلاء. And Shaykh Sulayman said, Hafizahullah, وَانْظُرُ وَفَّقَكَ اللَّهُ. Think, may Allah guide you to success. مَا حَصَلَ مِنَ الصَّحَابَةِ. Think about what happened, what we saw with the companions, radiyallahu anhu, عِنْدَ انْفِرَادُ نُفُوسِهِمْ, when their minds became disturbed. They were disturbed when the Prophet died, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Anas ibn Malik said, the day the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to Medina, it was like the whole city was lightened up, light. The day the Prophet died, alayhi salatu, it was as if there was darkness in the whole of Medina. So when we buried him, we hated ourselves. So they were in this confusion. Umar radiallahu anhu was saying that the Prophet has not died. He only went to see Allah, like Musa went to see Allah. He is coming back. The Prophet has not died, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because the Prophet will not die until all the munafiqun and the mushrikun die. What if I go munafiki at Kefiri ba kusa na bi so ku? Into Umar on from here. Any Jawdeba look at any. So, and one of the things that challenges the human mind most is when you love a teacher and father. When you love a teacher and a father, wallahi, your mind will see, your eyes will be seeing as if you cannot see. So when that disturbance came in the mind of the companions, عندما بلغهم خبر وفاة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, when they hear the Prophet had died, the news of the death of the Prophet reached them, they got into disturbance. Ibn Abbas said, radiyallahu anhuma, Anna Abu Bakr kharaja. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq came out. What happened on that day? After Salatul Fajr, who led that Salatul Fajr on that day? Abu Bakr. So he was going to a place called Finch. He had a wife in Finch. For you people in Oshogbo, like Owode, you have one wife in Oshogbo, you have another wife in Finch. So after Fajr, he was returning to Finch. He was on the way to Finch when he heard that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had died. So he returned into Medina. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the house of Aisha radiyallahu anha, and the clothes had been drawn across his face. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu removed the clothes and kissed the Prophet on the forehead. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, Anta tayyibun, hayyan wa mayyita. You are nice, messenger of Allah, both in your lifetime and in this your death time. The first thing he did was to confirm that death. He said, Cases of Madīnah. He heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had died. He didn't come and start crying. He didn't. He first of all went inside, opened the clothes, saw him. So he could look to the trouble. So to Wajadi Wafami. So for family that is not the way of youth. If you want to go somewhere with your father, what will he say? Jacob Maditan Lona. What's your study? You elders will say, hold on, be careful, take your time, they will do this. But the young one said, let's go, let's go. You see the gap between youth and elders. He heard that the Prophet had died. All those companions say that the Prophet had died. They won't parole. He begged. Ejekin koko wo na. Kanabi ti kú lóòótọ́. Alayhi salatu. Ìṣesí àgbàlagbà. So, radiyallahu anhu. So, this hadith was picked from the time after he saw the Prophet after he confirmed that death, he came out. Radiyallahu anhu. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Wa Umar yatakallam. Wa Umar yukallimu an-nas. So when he came out, he saw Umar talking to the people. Oh people, listen, talk, this, that. Umar was talking. فَقَالَ إِجْلِسْ. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said to Umar, sit down. Radiyallahu anhuma. فَأَبَى. But Umar didn't answer. He continued to talk. فَقَالَ إِجْلِسْ. Anybody will talk. Who will tell Umar that? The only person that will tell him that is the person that told him. Radiyallahu anhuma. Is the only person who will tell him that. And he told him, sit down. There's a lesson here. Among students, we should know who can tell themselves, sit down. I'm not saying who is what it is, as we are all there. We should know one of us, we should start and say, brother, sit down. And he will say, so person, sit down, I sat down. May Allah protect all of us. That will happen when everybody knows his own limits. So ní kálukú bá mọ̀ wọ́n rẹ̀. Ya lágbájá ló máa sọ̀rọ̀. Èmi ò gbọ́dọ̀ dùn bẹ́ẹ̀. So when he said that to Umar, Fa'aba, second time, Umar still continues to talk. فَتَشَهَدَ أَبُو بَكْرٍ الصِّدِّيقِ. Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu said, like you say, إِنَّ الْحَمْدَ لِلَّهِ نَحْمَدُهُ. He just went aside. إِنَّ الْحَمْدَ لِلَّهِ نَحْمَدُهُ وَأَسْتَغْفِرُهُ. فَمَالَ إِلَيْهِ النَّاسُ وَتَرَكُوا عُمَرَ. مَالَ إِلَيْهِ. They went on to meet Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. They left Umar. Why did they leave Umar to Abu Bakr? Àgbàlagbà ni ó jùlọ nínú ìmọ̀ àti ọjọ́ orí ni wọ́n ṣe fi Umar sí went to Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu. When there is fitna, one small boy will be telling you, we're not going to be in Nigeria, we're not going to. Don't follow him. He will lead you to fitna. May Allah protect all of us. فَقَالَ أَمَّا بَعْدْ. After all the muqaddimat that we make when we give the speech upon the sunnah, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ يَعْبُدُ مُحَمَّدًا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم فإن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قد مات. Anybody who is worshipping Muhammad has certainly died. Daji Kodi Mata. Our Ikhwa just learning to start to Samiya. If God comes before Fi'l al-Madi. What ifada does it have? At-tahqiq. Daji otishele. Fa'inna Muhammadan qad mata. The messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. True. He has died. وَمَنْ كَانَ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ حَيٌّ لَا يَمُوتُ. The one who is worshipping Allah, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ حَيٌّ. Daji, sure. Allah is what? حَيٌّ لَا يَمُوتُ. Allah is alive, ever living. He will never die forever. قَالَ تَعَالَى. When he spoke, ọ̀rọ̀ àgbàniyẹ, that is the statement of an elder. He now wants to add the statement of a scholar. How do you know the statement of the scholar? قال الله قال رسول. He said رضي الله عنه قال الله تعالى وما محمد إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل أفإن مات أو قتل انقلبتم على أعقابكم فمن ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا وسيجزي الله الشاكرين. What did Ibn Abbas say? So والله لكأن الناس لم يكونوا يعلمون أن الله أنزلها حتى تلاها أبو بكر الصديق. It was as if Allah has not sent it down before until Abu Bakr remembered it and told us. As it is clear, ayah was in the Quran until Abu Bakr al-Siddiq was saying it, as if it was never revealed in the Quran. Was it because he wants to start preparing, he wants to deliver a lecture? I want to deliver a lecture. It's not about that. So that is knowledge. Money. So his advice just he gave a verse. The Umar who was talking, do you think he will continue talking? Firm. فَتَلَقَّاهَا النَّاسُ مِنْهُ. Ibn Abbas said people started reciting that verse from who? Abu Bakr. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ. What was Muhammad? Except that he was a messenger. قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ. Before him, many messengers have come. So if he died or that he was killed, will you now turn on your back and become non-Muslims because Muhammad has died? وَمَنْ يَنْقَلِبْ عَلَى عَقِبَيْهِ فَلَا يَضُرُّ اللَّهَ شَيْئًا. Okay, anybody who wants to leave Islam because Muhammad has died, he will not cause any harm to Allah. So if he says Muhammad cannot die now, he has died. فَإِنَّ مُحَمَّدْ قَدْ مَاتَ. And the Quran says يَمُوتُ وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ. If gbogbo ẹni ṣe lẹ́nu lẹ́nu ìdákẹ́ ànábì ti kú. Kò lọ bá Musa kankan, kò lọ bọ́lọ̀ bí òfin Musa kankan ti kú. Well, talks around that to shut up. Radiyallahu anhu. Ẹwà ni wọ́n ti jẹ́ Khalifa Ali ibn Abi Talib ni ó ti jẹ́ Khalifa Ali ò tí lè sọ̀rọ̀ bí Abu Bakr ti sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Ẹ̀yin Shia. Radiyallahu anhu. The Shia say the Khilafah was supposed to be for Ali. Supposed by what counting? Who is counting supposed? When Abu Bakr is talking, you are looking for Umar or Ali or Osman? No. Even amongst them, they know themselves. The only person who can talk to all of them was Umar, and he was the one talking before Abu Bakr came. They went to Umar naturally. For me, this is evidence that the first Khalifa after Messenger was Abu Bakr, and the second was Umar. Because naturally they went to Umar, and he was talking before Abu Bakr came. When he came, they sit down. They didn't say, why are you telling Umar to sit down? When Umar did that, he said, Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Fataraku Umar wa malu ila Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Please, ikhwa, when you are in the same class with brothers, know yourself. Ele oji ni lo akajo wa class kan na. Yo ji osini. Ti mo are eniyan. So if Umar did that to him, say, you why not do that? Salati ni, after the two meda fashion. Hey, say yes. After you men so jura yin lo láàrin ara yin. When students sit down, 10, 15, 20, 20 kilos, after ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ oníkálukú. But the better thing is that oníkálukú náà know yourself. Ṣé o tọ́ ni pé kíláàsì náà kọ́ lájọ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn iṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o. I would have narrated the story, but if you take our time, let's go. We Shaykh bin Baz, Shaykh Ibrāhīm and others. Well, let's go. Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Husayni was the one who narrated the story. He went to Shaykh bin Baz to a halqa that was organized by Shaykh Al-Imam al-Shankiti. He said, when the Shaykh said, come and teach, let's go and learn mantiq. Teach your book, teach this, teach this. He said, I was thinking, in Saudi, and the host in cover that bin Baz, they killed. In this country, I find it called let's go. So when they got there, he saw him. He was a man black. Black man. This man who is not a white like us. You call Mufti Diyaru. Gbogbo ọmọ kí ó mọ̀ wọn ara rẹ̀. Kò ní jẹ́ kí èèyàn tẹ́. Sorry, I'm speaking too much Yoruba today. It says, فَتَلَقَّاهَا مِنْهُ النَّاسُ. Everybody, people began to say that verse. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ from Umar, from Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. فَمَا يُسْمَعُ بَشَرٌ إِلَّا يَتْلُوهَا. No human being was heard except that he was doing what? Was reading that verse. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا. As if he just cornered them. He taught them how to read the verse. Newly. رضي الله عنه. فعندما تكلم أبو بكر رواه البخاري رحمه الله. This report is inside Bukhari. You see? Sahih Bukhari رحمه الله. فعندما تكلم أبو بكر الصديق رضي الله عنه وهو الأكبر, when Abu Bakr spoke and he is the eldest amongst them, مالوا إليه, everybody rushed down to him, مع ميل عواطفهم لما يقوله عمر, even though their minds, their afifa, their emotions followed what Umar was saying, but their intellect followed what who was saying. Abu Bakr said, but this is what Abu Bakr. One of the brothers said to me during the week, he said, this issue, if one employs it when he has problems in his life, our problems will be solved. Wá fa àgbà kan lọ́rùn fún yóò sọ fún ṣe báyìí. Má ṣe léyò, eléyìí nìkan. Má ṣe léyò, don't do this, do this. Later he will say, Jazahullahu khairan. So the sixth issue we must note about fitan is what? Luzumul kibar, sticking to the elders. وَالْحَذَرُ مِمَّا يَنْفَرِدُ بِهِ الصِّغَارُ, and avoiding things that are known with young people. Bismillah, will continue the seventh one today. Al-Aslu Sabi, the seventh foundation from the foundations of handling oneself during fitna. It says, مِنْ فِقْهِ الْفِتَنِ لُزُومُ أَهْلِ الْخَيْرِ Al-Uqala' fil khayr. From the things we need to note when there is fitna is what? Luzumu ahli al-khayr. Stick to righteous people. Àwọn olùpayọ̀ Ọlọ́run ní kò dìrọ̀ mọ́ o títí tí náà bá dé o. Al-Uqala fil khayr. Those who are sound intellectuals upon goodness. There are intellectuals upon evil. They are the brain box behind evil. Who should you say with? Those who are the brain boxes behind what? Goodness. I tell you one brain box behind evil. If a man is a professor at 80 and he wants to carry Osho inside a bottle to Cuba, what is it? They will be worshipping the God that he will carry on aeroplane from Nigeria to Cuba. He is supposed to be reasonable. Brain box of evil, brain box of evil. So it means when you are living before the time of fitna, observe who are the planners of goodness. Àwọn òlàwọ̀n fẹ́ pé bó ṣe wáyé wọ́n plant dáadáa sílùú màwá o, because you may not be able to find them easily during the fitna. If it is critical, ló ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wàá máa wá àwọn wo ni kí n lọ bá o, dáa ni kí n di pé kí ni kí n ṣe o. One of the brothers teaching here during one of the fitna, he came close to death. Did you hear what I said? Those killing people entered his house in the midnight. Those who are slaughtering people entered his house in the midnight, himself and his family. Only Allah saved him that night, so would have killed him. The next morning I saw him. By next morning he's in Ilorin. So if you don't know who do I ask what to do next, I must move out of this city now. So where will you go to in the next morning? Ẹni tí wọ́n ti fún ní ọ̀bẹ lọ́rùn kó jẹ́ pé kí wọ́n kàn yín ọ̀bẹ yẹn lẹ́yìn kan àpáàmọ́ ni. Tí wọ́n bá ti ilẹ̀ tí yóò tún fún ìlú yẹn yóò mọ̀ gbé lọ. Especially tí wọ́n jẹ́ Yorùbá, Hausa lè ṣe. My brothers in the north can do it. If you put a knife in his neck and remove it, he can still stay in that city for 50 years. Hausa will start African. You say, Bamutaba. That's what he will say. But Yoruba, ọgbọ̀n gbọ́lagbọ́lagbà ní gbàmúmọ́lú ìwé ìbẹ̀kú. Àwọn kò tí ìsìnkú lójú mi báyìí. Ìjọba òwò náà. Ìtura Abū Nāsir, bàbá Ìyábọ̀, kò sí kú lójú yín báyìí ẹ̀ sí ìlú kú báyìí. Ọlọ́run ní pa yín báyìí. Ta ló sọ fún bẹ́ẹ̀? Ọlọ́run ní pa. Kò fẹ́ tí ojú kú bọ́, kò fẹ́ tí ojú òun bọ́ sí ojú kú. Kò fẹ́ kú lójú títì. Kò fẹ́ irú kú olóyè kú. Yorùbá ò fẹ́ kú kankan. Yorùbá. When they release the knife from the neck of my brother, quick, you pass his load. Immediately. Oh yeah. And he not what happened only. He's looking at me. I'm going to do formula. Just how is our parents. Any Jauba, don't care a lot on it. If you are in that circumstance, we will see what you do. And that decision was a blessed decision. Very, very useful, brother. All those Arba'un Nawawiyya that you are hearing, he recorded it by himself. More than 14 years ago. He has many audios of me that nobody has. His brother. He's here today. And you will not know him. Because you can't know the stranger here. He's here. He has many audios. Many classes I did when I was in the north. He recorded it. At the time, Zoom, no. He has a cassette, a lot of cases. I won't mention his name again. So, min Fiqh Al-Fitan luzumu ahli al-khayr. From the rulings regarding fitan is to stay with the people of goodness. Al-Uqala fil khayr. People who are the brain boxes of goodness. Stay with them. Ahli al-Iman wal-Basira. People of Iman and deep insight. Àwọn aláròjinlẹ̀. Ó ti máa ro ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Ó ti máa bí tọ́rọ̀ yẹn lọ. Wọ́n ò wóṣẹ́. Ọpọlọ àti àròjinlẹ̀ àti ìrísí ayé a máa jẹ́ kí èèyàn mọ bí tọ́rọ̀ lọ. Àyẹ̀ máa gba àgbàlagbà wọn sọ́kà. Nítorí tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní tí ìbá ṣe orúkọ láti ṣàlàyé mẹ́tẹ̀. Wọ́n ò ṣe pé ẹ̀sán máa ń sọ fún. Tí ìkàbá ìbá ṣẹlẹ̀, ìkàbá ìlú ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn òwẹ́jú kò sọ̀rọ̀ òwẹ́jú. This dunya has a sunnah. I said to someone one day, jàmbá ń dúró de oníjàmbá. Bàbá àdínní lẹ́ni náà. He took it from me. He started saying it everywhere he went. He called me and said, I've been saying it everywhere. Jàmbá. Ó ń dúró de oníjàmbá. Ó ń dúró de àbí òdòdó. Ìgbà tí ó de tí jàmbá àti ẹ̀ ó di òun ní òun. Mọ́ jàmbá ń dúró de. Yóò ṣe òun náà padà. So fàájúkẹ́ tó wẹ́jú ní kì í sọ̀rọ̀ wẹ́jú. So elders are the ones who know these kinds of things. Yeah, when you do this, it can cause this one. When you do this, it will bring this one. They will be telling you, you'll be thinking, oh, let's say, man. The ball on the father, shout, Salafi. Say, how are you talking as if you know father? When it happens, you will know that it is not that he knows father, but he has experience. So stick to the elders. Those who are the bringbox of goodness. وَفِي الْعَقْلِ حَجْزٌ عَنِ الشَّرِّ. When we stick to people who are intellectuals, al-aql, people who make use of their senses, they are intelligent, they are intellectual. The intelligence and sound intellect will prevent us from falling into evil. Why? Because you already there. They are stop of it. And when you do this kind of a thing, that is one of the meanings of al-aql. That you are able to think about the repercussion of everything that you do. If I do this one, it can lead to this one. If I do this one, it can lead to this one. Al-Imam Ibn Hibban, I like to talk a bit about al-aql. To be intellectual, to have sound intellect. Because like Imam Ibn Hibban said in this book, Rawdatul Uqala, Rawdatul Uqala is a book about sound intellect. I'm not talking about ilm. I'm talking about what? Aql. Èyí a máa ní máa ṣe ìgbọ́n yóò gọ̀. Onímọ̀ ní ṣùgbọ́n gọ̀ yóò máa wù ọ̀gọ̀. Ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ní méjèèjì. Ọ̀tọ̀ ni ìmọ̀, ọ̀tọ̀ lọ́gbọ́n. Ọgbọ́n ní máa sì máa hà. Ìmọ̀ nìkan ó máa wù ọ̀gọ̀. Ó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n kì í sọ ni wọ́n fi máa ṣe khutbah. The scholars would usually say, "Laysa kullu ma yu'lamu yuqal." Kéèṣe gbogbo tí èèyàn máa lè yàn máa ń sọ, ó ní wọ́n máa sọ. Ntí èèyàn sì máa ń mè tí èèyàn máa ń sọ àti tí èèyàn sì ń sọ ò mọ́. Kò sínú náhù àti sọ àti bàlágà kò síbẹ̀. Èèyàn máa ń kọ́ yẹn lọ́tọ̀ ni. So these ones are not learned now again. It is from Nahu and Sarfu to Ijaku Ashaki. With Hiddat Shabab. So the things that should put the brake will be removed. These are things, books like this. Bismillah. Learn about act and at-ta'akkulu. Bowling, I say man, your dog man. Man, you read books, learn books on it, but we don't do that again now. So the next thing is we cannot be reading books again like this to ourselves. We don't read books like this, forget about it. The nearest you'll be reading about them, the Adab al-Talib, books on Adab. Those are the nearest to this issue. But boy, if someone hears your mother, I don't care about that again. Look at Matthew, you man for Taylor, you are my God, and you are away. One brother one day, he did like, he removed his book. He was just like, oh Allah, how la see Matthew the when Allah was talking about Ibadur Rahman in the Quran, what did he say? وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ. First thing, he was describing, he was saying how they walk. يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. He didn't talk about their iman. He's not just started talking about iman. No. He started talking about how they walk. He said, open his button, put his cap here. Many of people now, that's how our own parents used to say to us, because to them, need justice. In their churches, they don't wear cap. So that they see that the church, you have to see Abiyani. You have to see Layadi Oshika. Why do you do that as a Muslim? These days it's even worse. Now that everybody is going there. Una ni o gbagbo alajo ni o iwo wa de fila ejo wo buba soro ni tawala salamasi. So we don't learn all these adab again. But the least thing I think I can do is to introduce us to these kinds of books. The first of them, and one of the most important of them, is Rawdatul Uqala wa Nuzhatul Fudala. Very good book. It was written by Imam Abu Hatim Muhammad ibn Hibban al-Busti. He's the student of Imam Ibn Khuzaymah. He wrote Sahih Ibn Hibban. If you hear Rawah Ibn Hibban, Ibn Hibban was the one who compiled it. Fortunately, you gain two more things in it. You gain Mufradat al-Lughawiyah, vocabulary. And you gain nice ibarat al-adabiyah, nice literary expression you gain from this work. In the first chapter in this book, he was telling us what is al-aql. That was what he went on to describe. فذكر الحث على لزوم العقل وصفة العاقل الذي. He was telling us something that will make you like to be an artist. The attributes ìròyìn àwọn ọlọ́pọlọ àlọ́bí àwọn aláròjinlẹ̀. Èèyàn máa ń kọ́ bọ́n ṣe ń jí aláròjinlẹ̀. Bóòlù ẹ̀sìn náà. Read Rawdatul Uqala. These kinds of books should be taught, to be explained. Be explaining it. Yes. I would have read part of it wrong. So many issues inside this very wonderful book. One of my teachers said, if you don't read this book, it does not consider you as a reasonable person. So I went to buy the book that time and I read it. This is the tahqiq of Shaykh Hamid Al-Fiqh Rahimahullah. May Allah forgive him. A book also in that meaning is this by Al-Imam Ibn al-Jawzi, Sayyid al-Khatir. Sayyid al-Khatir, Ibn al-Jawzi lived very long. He's from amongst the descendants of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiyallahu anhu. And Allah made him a great scholar from the scholars of Islam. If I say something now, you say, ha. In his own halqa, sometimes he would have up to 90,000 people listening to him. It's here. And Allah made him convert more than 100,000 Jews and Christians to Islam. Ibn al-Jawzi. He wrote this book, Sayyid al-Khatir. When he became a learned and elderly person, he will now be sitting down to think about the past, things that have happened to them, and they have witnessed in life. And he started writing them down. It is those, how has life treated us? Bó la ṣe rí ayé sí? Bó la ṣe mọ àwọn èèyàn sí? That is what he has written down now. He called the book Sayyid al-Khatir. To my knowledge, this is the most recent print of Sayyid al-Khatir. It is my 5th copy of this book. 5 copy of it. I have 5 copies of Sayyid al-Khatir. And the difference between this and the 4th copy is 120 pages. Because Shaykh Ibrāhīm Abdur-Raūf, who made this tahqiq, he came across small makhtutat, written handscripts from Ibn al-Jawzi that we are missing in previous copies. So he added it to his own. So I bought the book. My 5th copy. I bought it in 2018, our last Hajj. May Allah make us perform Hajj. Umrah this year first. And Hajj bismillah. Otherwise, my 4th copy is this. Is binded again. It even caught fire. See, this copy you are seeing, it has been with me since 2004. If I tell you the owner now, you will shout, Shaykh Sulayman. He gave me this book. He said, be reading it every day. When you finish that again, Allah will give you intelligence. Wallahi. He gave me this book. I'm sure he himself does not know where this book is. It has been with me since 2004. I have not had a child since before this book came to me. And my first child is 14 years old now. So it is a very good book. You will know what is dunya. Yorùbá ti ṣe ìmọ̀ ló kọ́ ò tí ìkọ́ ọgbọ́n máa ìmọ̀ ló ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ bá. Please read Sayyid al-Khatir. Read a nice tahqiq. This tahqiq that I show you is the tahqiq of Shaykh Abdul-Salam Al-Lush. Very, very good. The first one is better because of what I mentioned. That's the tahqiq of Shaykh Abu Abdullah Tariq ibn Iwadillah. He's a very big scholar of hadith in Egypt. I'd mentioned Rawdatul Uqala and Sayyid al-Khatir. There is Zammul Hawa, also by Ibn al-Jawzi. Zammul Hawa. Ìpénilákìyèsí nípa ìmọ̀ tẹ̀lé fẹ́nu. That's all about it. Calling our attention that we must be careful about following our desires. So, this very full book, Zammul Hawa, by Imam Ibn al-Jawzi. Very nice book. So he tells you, kini tuma hawa ifenu, kini tuma ki lolon da fenu fun. Why has Allah given us our desires? And what are the controls for desire? The controls for desires are two. Al-Wahyi wal-Aql. Revelation and what? Intellect. The two of them will be controlling what? Hawa. Ọpọlọ ni ó sọ fún ọ pé ìyá mi ṣe wá jẹ́ níyàwó. Ọpọlọ, your mind, intellect will tell you that your mother cannot be your wife. The deen will tell you how to marry a wife. That's not just any woman outside now that you can now take as your wife. These are the controls for Hawa. You read a lot about all these issues about Hawa. In Zammul Hawa. A near book like that is Kitab Al-Akhlaq wa Siyar by Imam Ibn Hazm Abu Muhammad Al-Andalusi. Kitab Al-Akhlaq wa Siyar. Àwọn eléyìí bá fọ́ lẹ́yìn náà wà kíkọ́ ìtùjú tó máa sọ fún wa tíra jáfù wà tàbí lọ. Gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ. Nígbà tó bá mọ eléyìí kan kó tó sọ pé ó fẹ́ kọ́ náà járù wà tàbí. Yóò rí nǹkan dé bá lára rẹ̀. Because these books will also teach you how to relate with Allah. Bó o lè rí ṣe máa ń ṣe pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run ọba rẹ̀. Ẹ máa gbọ́n wá sí ìtàwọn sọ pé lọ́mọ Ọlọ́run wọ́n kàn sọ pé kọ́ lọ́mọ Ọlọ́run ni wọn ò kọ́ ọmọ ṣe lè mọ̀. Wọ́n ò ṣe sọ pé ẹlẹ́bí kápẹ́ńtà kó sì di kápẹ́ńtà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà. Ṣé èèyàn máa di kápẹ́ńtà láìkọ́ ni? The son become a carpenter without learning carpentry. So how can you know Allah without learning how to know Allah? Ẹ máa gbọ́n lórí nígbà rẹ̀. Ṣé Yorùbá mọ́ Ọlọ́run ní sáàbù bí ní kọ́ńtà ayé kan sọ ni kò mọ tó ń sọ òye òun gangan. Imam Zahabi rahimahullah ó ní insanun la ya'rifu nafsahu kayfa ya'rifu ghayrahu. How? An individual does not know himself. How does he know another person? Ẹ̀sọ́ ẹni tí ò mọ tó ń sọ fóònù ẹni tó ń lísìn tí ó sì mọ tó ń sọ. Oúnjẹ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ò mọ tó ń sọ kò yé. Ẹ lọ mọ Ọlọ́run. Ká lọ mọ Ọlọ́run níbo bí wọ́n ti mọ Ọlọ́run ta ní ojú ìwé Ọlọ́run fún wọn. Wọ́n kàn sọ lẹ́nu ni. So if we say ẹ lọ kọ́ ọgbọ́n àti ọpọlọ agbẹ́dọ̀ ju wa níwèé ọ̀nà wo lágbà táwa náà fi gbé ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. Ní sọ pé onímọ̀ o ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n a máa kọ́ ọgbọ́n. Kitab al-Akhlaq wa Siyar is in that category. If I tell us this nuskha of Kitab Al-Akhlaq wa Siyar, the tahqiq was done by a woman, a German, non-Muslim. She's a researcher in Arabic. She found a manuscript written by, it was stolen by Europeans. There are a lot of manuscripts of books of hadith amongst Europeans. Àwọn tí àtàlọ́ jílẹ̀ lárúbá tán kó lọ lú wọn. Ṣé wọ́n ní nǹkan jílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni? Táwọn èbó kó lọ. Ebi yẹn làwọn yahoo sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ gbà. Wọ́n fẹ́ bo olè gba olè. Wọ́n fẹ́ gba orí adé ọ̀ni. $1 tó jí ló fi gbà orí adé ọ̀ni. Olè burúkú. Kitab al-Akhlaq wa Siyar by Imam Ibn Hazm al-Andalusi is a very good book on this issue. He even was discussing about brotherhood. How do you relate with your brother? How do you relate with your teacher? How do you relate with your friends? How do you relate? So very nice. It's not just about hadith. There are ahadith, but ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọbẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ experience ìgbésí ayé ni wọ́n fi gbé àwọn nǹkan yẹn kalẹ̀. Ìgbésí ayé àwọn àfà ni wọ́n fi gbé kalẹ̀. Very nice. Wallahi, very nice. All these books, may have read them all. I encourage us to read them. There is Al-Azkiya, àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, by Imam Ibn al-Jawzi. Al-Azkiya Ibn al-Jawzi, àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. So he's telling you about zakat. Ọgbọ́n àti òye zakat. He's telling you about them. How do you know that somebody is intelligent? He mentioned Sifatul Azkiya. What are the things that when a person goes with any ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n? Ibn al-Jawzi mentioned them in Al-Azkiya. Very good. We have Talbis Iblis, also by Ibn al-Jawzi. That is his work. In that aspect. Ibn al-Jawzi. Talbis Iblis, àwọn ìtànjẹ èṣù. You see how big it is? This copy occurs in about 550 pages. But it is muhtasar, it is summary. of the actual book itself. Tell someone, say, listen, he won't have time for Facebook. He won't have time. He needs time for Facebook. He won't. I tell you this, he won't. He will be reading some things he does not understand. So people are busy with things that they don't have busy. Read books that will benefit you first, then others. May Allah protect all of us. Because this chapter, this point is about speaking to the people of intellect. Agbadoma, what does it mean to say that someone is intellectual? Or Jogmali, go and study for. You know that. And you don't have to allow your study to wait till the time of fitna. Because it's difficult to study during the times of fitna. I think we can stop here today. Bismillah. We can ask a few questions and call it a day. I hope that we, in the next class, can stop this discussion for now. After the next class, the next class after that, bismillah, we'll be discussing issues about how to get ready for Ramadan. Because now we would have been in Ramadan in 2 weeks' time. Allahu Akbar. Okay, we'll divide the next class. A part of it to read our book, and a part of it to remind us about basic things, just by way of reminding ourselves regarding Ramadan. May Allah make it beneficial to us. Please, brothers, buy these books. Don't go and find email copies. I don't cancel you now. Go and download it. I've downloaded it. If you download it, print it and read it as a book. Read it as a book. Read books. Because what you read is virtual in your mind. What you read in virtual, it's also virtual in your mind. This Rawdatul Uqala, if you open it, you see all these books. If you open them, you see the writings, notes I was making. If I read it online, will I make notes? And if I read the notes, I will know for what reason I made those notes. It will come back to my mind. I can just make notes fairly fast. That's why I must say, Ratia, not just data. These days, data. Talib Ilm must have data. Talib Ilm should have books. Don't waste your money too much. As I came in, I saw one of the books there. Adabu Dini wa Dunya by Imam Al-Marwazi. Very good book. I have a new copy. It's very new copy. Nice tahqiq. I saw a copy there too. I don't think it is a bad one. Adabu Dini wa Dunya by Imam Al-Marwazi. Let's read books that will help us regarding our lifestyles and nice conduct. I think we can stop here. Let's take just one question. طيب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.